This is Gratz's Sports Break.
I don't believe what I just saw.
But open up. Oh, man!
Hello. No better way to start the morning than with some sports. In the studio, very happy to have back Trevor Pedro, the sports aficionado.
Don't inflate my ego. Come on, I'm just in here to talk sports.
Well, we brought up some of the headlines, and you and I are on different sides of the spectrum on some of these issues, so I thought I would bring it up. I had this big, giant thing about how we can open with the Golden State Warriors and how great they are, but then this happened.
The Lakers down one. Will Kobe give them one last gamer? Bryant on the move with the jumper. He got it! My!
Unbelievable.
58
Wasn't it
points!
beautiful?
And the Lakers lead!
Think about how spoiled just basketball fans in general have been over the past, 3 weeks since the national championship?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, completely.
So that was 58. That was the go-ahead bucket. He ended up with 60. You heard that right. Kobe Bean Bryant, the Black Mamba. Final game for his career, the farewell tour, ended with a 60-point performance.
You know, and I'm looking at that. I think it's more impressive than the 81 because he's 37.
37.
He's broken down and he's hitting shots that he was hitting when he was 19.
Granted, the disclaimer to the whole thing, and this is really what separates. There's two kinds of people. There's people that are like me and say that Kobe doesn't shoot enough, and then there's the people that are like, Kobe hasn't passed the ball a single time in his life. He won't even pass the torch to the next generation because he's holding on to it. He doesn't like to pass. He tossed up 50 shots yesterday.
You knew it was coming, though. I mean, because Byron Scott said you can play as many minutes as you want. I don't
Right?
care.
You want Roy Hibbert taking 20 shots during that game? No, you want Kobe Bryant. So the Lakers, I brought up some of the stats. As a team, they shot 85 shots yesterday. Kobe had 50. I wanted Kobe to shoot all 85 shots till his arms fell off.
I think he probably would have dropped 100 if he would have had 85
Wouldn't that have been
shots.
amazing?
Yeah.
101 gets pulled from the game and then pulls the big sign up. I scored 101. How great would that have been? 5 NBA championships, third on the scoring list, and now an unforgettable night to his career. Like this, just a Hollywood ending to a Hollywood performer.
You know what was the best thing about that thing? I don't know if you watched the press conference, but at the end of the press conference, he said he said the crazy thing is his kids looked at him and they were dumbfounded. They didn't know he had this in him, and he said, "You know what? I've been doing this for years. YouTube it."
Right? Yeah.
YouTube it.
I scored 81 in a game, guys. And that's the thing. So, like, Kobe, he scores 81 in a game, but, like, he had Smush Parker bringing up the ball that game. He had, like, Kwame Brown on his team, Luke Walton. Who else do you want shooting the basketball?
Yeah, all these guys that probably would have been, 12, 13, 14, 15 on the bench.
Right, yeah, exactly. Here's what I wanted to start with. Golden State Warriors, they made history last night.
It's official, number 73. The greatest regular season in NBA history now belongs to the 2016 Golden State Warriors.
So let the debate begin. Now that they're officially the greatest regular season team of all time, who's better?
That's a punch to my throat. You know that? You're just egging me on. I'm looking at it, and yes, okay, they have the best record, but that doesn't mean they're the best team.
You don't think so?
A lot of people are I'm seeing a lot of tweets out there, and people are putting out there that remember, and this is a different sport, but remember the Seattle Mariners of 2001. Okay, they won 116 games.
Randy Johnson.
And they buzzsaw through the American League. And what did they do? They lost in 5. They lost in 5 in the ALDS.
I'm just so happy we can finally get past that stupid punchline of, are they better than the 95-96 Bulls? It's always the top comment on every single thing, so I'm glad we can move past it.
I'm seeing it on Swap Shop, so it's there too,
Right, exactly, If it's on Swap Shop, it's real life.
It's everywhere.
Just to throw it out into perspective, so the Golden State Warriors, they're, as you would put it, a finesse team. So,
Definitely.
Of course, the conversation is always, can they beat the 95-96 Bulls? My argument is, they can't, the rules were different back then. They could hand check, but you can't hand check from 35 feet out.
There's no way. But I think the front line, any team with,
You think that's the difference?
Yeah, any team with a front court that's kind of bruising.
I would say even, we mentioned, they played the Memphis Grizzlies last night, a depleted Memphis Grizzlies team. If the Memphis Grizzlies were healthy, they're the bruiser team that could probably give them a nice little run for their money.
Yeah, that'd still probably be a 6-game series and go to Golden State, but at least they'd win a game, right?
They would know that they played the Memphis Grizzlies, though. That's one of those teams, you
Right.
know? Just to kind of put it all into perspective, how great Steph Curry has been this year, Mr. Hibachi Hands himself. I've coined that. His
I like
hands are
it.
made out of hibachi grills. I'm
I like it.
convinced. Steph Curry last year set an NBA record, right? 286 3-pointers in the season.
Okay.
This year, decided to outdo himself. 402 3-pointers.
402.
402. No person has even got to 300.
Is that the only shot he takes?
Well, when you can shoot 40% from 35 feet out, yeah. I guess 114 threes he went over from, he broke his own, and he's probably just going to keep breaking he's like broke his own record, 4 out of the 5 years, something crazy like that he's been in the league. I did want to break down some of the playoff matchups. We're going to do this. We'll play some Kings of Leon here on 88.5. Playoff matchups now that the regular season is over. And then some breaking news out of the NFL. Huge trade that could change a whole division. And the irony behind this whole trade that just went down is almost hard to believe. We'll break down the big trade that happened and also the NBA playoff schedule that you can watch on AFN Sports. Keep it here on the Eagle.
He likes checkers and jazz flute. Get to know him on The Morning Show with Brian Gratz.
It's AFN Kunsan, the Eagle.
TGIF edition of the Morning Mayhem with me, Staff Sergeant Brian Gratz. 6:41 now on the Eagle clock. Today is, again, Friday, April 15th. Hope you're having a great morning so far. We have that fog that's lingering around by this afternoon, though. It's supposed to be beautiful, high of 70 degrees. Beautiful blue skies.
I'm learning something about you every day. Jazz
that?
flute, huh?
The jazz flutes. It's
Okay.
it's an art form. You know, it's not a skill that you acquire just by chance.
The School of Ron Burgundy.
The
Did
school
you go
of-
there?
Well, you know,
Yeah.
we have many leather-bound books at the School of Ron Burgundy. I'm a journalist, so I can dream, right?
Yep.
Trevor Pedro, if you're just tuning in, is in the studio. Our sports person that comes in here. We like to talk it up a little bit. We recapped. I mean, Kobe dropping 60, Warriors 73 wins. What's the first playoff matchup that you're most looking forward to? First round playoff matchup.
I'm looking at upset possibility.
Yeah.
And so I'm really looking at Clips and Blazers.
Okay.
Everybody's picking the Clips. I think the Clips, ESPN said Clips have like an 82% chance to win that series. But the Blazers, I mean, that backcourt's pretty good. They got CJ McCollum, also Damian Lillard. So I think that it's probably going to go 6, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm interested.
First round matchup I'm most looking forward to, and this is maybe going to throw a lot of people off. The most dysfunctional team to me in the NBA is the Houston Rockets. Now, who do they play in the first round? A team that, in my opinion, they're probably built to run with. The Golden State Warriors, the 8-versus-1 matchup. James Harden, top 3 shooting guard in the league. Dwight Howard, top 3 center in the league. They have the 3-and-Ds. They have a lot of those guys. The Beverleys, the Trevor Arizas, who won with the Lakers back in the day. I think that if the Golden State Warriors don't take care of business, this could be like a 6-game series. I don't think the Rockets can upset them, but I think they can give them a run for their money.
I think this is one of the only times you and I agree because I'm looking at it and definitely, and I'm actually hoping for that. I like parity, you know. I
Yeah.
like parity in the league. I don't like looking at headlines of 73 wins and things like
Come
that.
on.
So
It's history.
History, yeah. Let's just make it history. So yeah, 6 games, that would be nice. And if Dwight can just put that team on its back for once,
Right.
just put the team on your back, Dwight.
Dwight Howard. You can't laugh through everything.
No.
You know? Take a page out of Kobe's book for 1 second. If it all lines up the way it should, we're just going to talk about the Western Conference here for a second. The Warriors versus the Clippers in round 2, and then the Thunder versus the Spurs. How unbelievable would that matchups be?
Those are finals matchups. Those aren't Western Conference finals. Those are finals matchups.
I think we're in agreement. The Cleveland Cavaliers have a free pass to the NBA Finals.
Free pass.
Free pass.
Free pass.
Yeah. They're no one.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about the Toronto Raptors all we want, but let's be honest. Drake can't lace him up and help him get to the finals.
Mail it in. David Silver already sent it to him. Said, hey.
Hotline Bling 2 from Drake about how sad he is about the Toronto Raptors losing in the Eastern Conference Finals. You heard it here first. We had this earlier. I wanted to break the news. Feel like a real journalist for a second, you know? This happened early this morning, and I want to head to the NFL for it. This happened late yesterday, and it deals with the NFL draft. A lot of people are like, wait a minute, what is going on here? If you're an LA Rams fan, they got a flair for the dramatics, to say the least. All of a sudden, they have the first pick overall.
I don't know what happened.
What the heck is going on?
I was all happy about Kobe dropping 60. I went to bed, watched it on AFN last night, watched the replay, and I woke up and bam, my phone said, Rams, number 1 pick.
If you don't know what we're talking about, the Tennessee Titans had the number 1 overall pick, right? They have traded it to the formerly St. Louis Rams, now LA Rams, but the Tennessee Titans made out like bandits, highway robbery style. If you're new to this whole thing, a couple years ago for RG3, the Rams had the number 2 overall pick, right?
Yep.
They traded it to the Redskins, basically for the entire farm, and it didn't work out very well for the Redskins. Drafted RG3.
Not at all.
Now he's on the Cleveland Browns.
To the point that last year they matched up against each other, and all the guys that went up for the coin toss were guys that the Rams got in the trade.
And they did it, and now they're doing it to themselves. What are they thinking? Here's the crazy part. So the Tennessee Titans, they get 2 second-round picks this year, a first-round pick next year. The LA Rams, they're selling the farm, and they don't even know who they want to pick yet.
Yeah, and they got a couple thirds, too, and this is a deep draft. So, it makes you wonder, is this a Hollywood story, or they're just saying, hey, is it a PR move? Are they looking for the face of the franchise? I don't know.
The fact that they want to pick a D2 kid, the guy from, North Dakota State, or the Cal guy, Goff, they can't even decide. Like, they have the number 1. You would think, okay, yeah, we know who we want. We want him number 1. They can't even decide who they want.
Well, and if you look at projects and look at all the rating schemes and everything from McShay and Typer from ESPN, I mean, they said basically RG3 was a better prospect than these 2 guys coming out of college.
It's insane.
I don't understand.
LA Rams. I don't know what the heck's going on over in LA. A lot of the headlines, like a lot of the trolls came out last night, and they're like, "Oh, sweet, Jeff Fisher's finally helping the Tennessee Titans win a football game." Ugh. Can we punchline out of that and go straight into MLB for a second?
Yeah.
So I talked about this baseball game. That's what's going on this weekend through Outdoor Rec. I'll talk a little bit more about that, how you can see a professional baseball game here in Korea a little bit later in the show. We talked about NBA playoffs. I'm actually going to post the playoff schedule to our Facebook page, facebook.com/AFN Kunsan, so you know how many Wolfpack wings you have to binge by before you just have to wake up at 1:30 and watch all the games.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah. Wolfpack. What? What are you talking about? In the MLB, though, I know you're an MLB guy. Kind of recap me on the week that was in the MLB.
Oh, man. I mean, so I'm looking at it. We were talking about Rookie of the Year candidates, and there's 2 really good ones that are blowing up the circuits. Tyler White, first baseman for the Astros, hitting .458 this week.
Oh.
.458. And then also your boy Trevor Story.
This is my boy.
This ball's hit to deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. Story time.
Storybook start to Story's career.
381, 3 homers this week.
Unbelievable,
Insane.
For a shortstop.
Yeah, insane. And 2 great matchups this weekend if you want to tune into them. Giants and Dodgers. Baumgartner versus Kershaw, part 2. And then Felix going up against Masahiro Tanaka in Yankee Stadium on Sunday morning.
That's a tongue twister in itself.
I know. I had to practice that about 6 times this morning.
Tanaka. Is there anything else you want to... As far as the MLB goes, I mean, granted, it's a long season, and every MLB fan knows that. It's going to change 10 times. We know the Cubs are doing great right now. Any other bold predictions that we kind of want to toss out there?
Just looking at it, look out for Noah Syndergaard. He might sneak in and be a Cy Young candidate.
You heard it here first.
Watched it last week, and he's throwing smoke.
Again, pro baseball game. If you want to check that out, keep it here on 88.5. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later in the show. Apparently, they have churros at the stadium. I'm going to break that down. The whole churro explanation. Yeah, exactly. And Facebook.com/AFN Kunsan. Again, that's where I'm going to post the AFN sports schedule for this weekend. Complete NBA playoff coverage starting at 1:30 a.m. Can't beat it.
I'll be up.
When are you going to sleep?
I know. Never.
Can't. Never going to bed. We have some good stuff here. Keep it here on 88.5 where we are serving America's best. Snow Patrol, Caught in the Dark. This is a good one.